Here's a video for lesson 72, compounding interest. So when we're learning about compounding interest, there are two different formulas that you could use. Regular compounding is on the left, which has a different variable. It has n in it. And on the right, we have continuously compounding. Now, compounding happens a certain number of times per year, right? So it could be once per year. You could get your interest added back into your account once per month, which would mean you get your interest compounded 12 times per year, because, 12 months in a year. Continuously compounding is different in that the question will state that is continuous. The question will state that it is continuous, and you'll know that you have to use this formula, A equals PE to the RT. Otherwise, you'll be using this formula on the left. Now, the most important thing is just to identify what you're looking for and what you have. Now, I'll walk you through the variables once. I'm not going to write all this down. I'll flip over to the page where I explain it, though. A is the account balance. So that's like your final. A is going to be your final balance. P is your principal investment, which is your starting value. You can write this down if you want. P is the starting value. R is your interest rate as a decimal. N, like I said, is the number of times per year that your interest is re-added, is compounded. And T is going to be the time in years. So I'm going to do a two-part question for you on here, just so you can see what we're doing. Let's do question number 10, speaking about Kiara working for the summer. It says that Kiara works for the summer and puts everything she earns into college savings. She puts $4,500 into a savings account that earns 3% interest compounded daily. And that's a lot of info already. So she puts $4,500 into a savings account. That is my starting money. So $4,500 is going to be my principal. That's P, okay? So that's my principal. Her savings account earns 3% interest. 3% interest, it means that R, my rate, is going to be 0.03. You move the decimal place twice to change something from a percentage to a decimal. So R equals 0.03. And the interest is compounded daily. Daily. So how many days are there in a year? Compounded daily means, that it is done 365 times per year. So N is going to equal 365. I'm going to put all this info into the equation, and then we can move forward from there onto parts A and B, okay? So it's not compounded continuously. It's compounded like regular, a discrete number of times. So we'll start off with that equation. A equals P, 1 plus R over N raised to the NT power. We'll plug in the info that we know already. We know that the principal is 4,500. 1 plus, we know that the rate is 0.03. We know that the number of times per year is 365. I know N, same number, 365, times T. All I've done is plug in so far. Now here's what they want me to do. They want me for part A to find out what her balance will be after 4 years. So they're telling me that 4 years. So for part A, they're telling me that T is equal to 4. And they want to know her balance. So I'm trying to find A. So if I plug in here for T, it's going to be 4. Here's what I get. A is equal to 4,500 Inside the parentheses, I like to just plug this whole thing into the calculator so I can figure out and simplify all of this stuff here. So I'm going to go do that. Let's take this chunk from in here and throw it into the calculator. 1 plus 0.03 over 365. 1 plus 0.03 over 365. Oh, my bad. Typed that in wrong. 1 plus 0.03 divided by 365. Okay, so that number is incredibly close to 1. If I round that to 3 decimal places, it is still 1. I'm going to take this 8 along with me because I don't feel right putting it as just 1, even though, yeah, that's the 5th decimal place. So I'm going to put that in there anyway, though, because I don't want to leave nothing. So 1.00008. Okay. 1.00008. Raised to the, now, here's the exponent, 365 times 4. So let's do that in the calculator as well. 365 times 4 is 1,460. So raised to the 1460 power. Give myself a little too little room here, so I'm going to spread this out. Alright. Now this is cake. This looks like something I should just type into the calculator. This is a number times a number raised to another number. That seems very straightforward. 4,500 times that raised to the 1460. 1.00008 raised to the 1460, and let's hit enter. $5,057.50. It's money after all, right? So 5,057.50. That would be her account balance after 4 years. Not bad. She made some money off that interest. Now let's do part 2. I'm going to start off with the same equation that I had in the beginning, that I knew everything, that I plugged in everything. I'm going to actually pull that from here. Part B. This is part A up here. So for part B, I'll start off with the same equation because the context hasn't changed. The context is still the same. She's still investing $4,500. She's still got 3% interest. And it's still being compounded daily. So let's see what they want in part 2. Part B, they say how many years. So they're saying, all right, find T, which you have to invest in order to increase her balance to 8,000. So they're giving me the balance, and they want me to find the time. So I get 8,000 is equal to 4,500 times, wait, I know what goes in here, 1.00008 raised to the 365t. Now, if you've been following along in class, this is going to seem very routine by now. Isolate the exponential term. So that means I'm dividing by 4,500 on both sides. That crosses out. 8,000 divided by 4,500 is 1.778. 1.778 is equal to 1.00008 raised to the 365t. I'll keep the capitals. Now it's isolated. I'd love to be able to bring this down. How do I do that? Well, I need to log both sides first. Since they're logged, I'm allowed to bring it down, which means I get log of 1.778 is equal to 365t times log of 1.00008. Now I want to get t by itself, so let's get everything else away from it. I'll divide by the log of 1.00008 on both sides. And these will cross out. This can be done in the calculator, so I'm going to do that. Log of 1.778 divided by log of 1.00008. Enter. I get 7193.902. Okay, good number. 7193.902 is equal to 365t. Now, last thing I have to do, get t by itself, I have to divide by 365 on both sides, and I will have my answer. So I'm going to take that number from before and divide it by 365. 7193.902 divided by 365, enter. And my final answer is 19.709. And that is years. Let me see if the question specified how to round. It does not specify how to round, so here's what I'll do. I'll leave that number, but I will also switch it to a number that makes sense, and I'm going to write about 20 years. And I'll just box them both. Okay, so that is it. That is everything you needed to do for lesson 72. Good luck.